I want to call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. I will call the regular meeting agenda item number 2. Mr. Perez.
Yes, please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Heavenly Father, we thank you today for all your blessings and for the successful outcome of our community. We ask for your guidance in our discussion. Bless our plans, programs, and projects so that we may achieve our objectives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance is Mission Police Explorers, Romeo Rivera and Jesus Navarro.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Yes, if you all want to come forward, so we can get a picture, Chief, with the explorers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for serving our community.
Yes, sir.
Chief. Next to the explorers.
Let's go right there. Everybody's kind of squeezing. There we go. Look right here. 3, 2, 1. Let me do one more. Don't move. 3, 2, 1. All right, you got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Chief, congratulations. Good job. Regular meeting agenda item number 3, Chief Dominguez proclamation.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Proclamation is for Police Memorial Week and reads as follows. Whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15 as Peace Officer Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as Police Week. And whereas the members of the Mission Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of Mission, Texas. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and the members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression and intimidation. Now therefore we, the City Council of the City of Mission, do hereby proclaim the week of May 12 through 18, 2019 as National Police Week, and call upon all citizens of Mission and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 12 through 18, 2019 as Police Week with the appropriate ceremonies in which all our people may join in commemorating police officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in doing so have established for themselves an inevitable and enduring reputation for serving the rights and security of all citizens. I further call upon all citizens of the City of Mission to observe Monday, May 13, 2019 as Peace Officer Memorial Day in Mission, Texas, to honor those peace officers who through their courageous deeds have lost their lives or have become disabled in the performance of duties. Proclaimed on this, the 23rd day of April, 2019.
Move for approval.
We have a motion to approve and a second to approve the proclamation as read by Chief Dominguez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Proclamation is approved.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. I also want to take the opportunity, sir, to invite you all and the public for our police memorial ceremony on Monday, May 13th at 9 o'clock across the street at the police department.
You want to come over and take a picture with us?
See you guys.
You want to come over here and accept
Martín.
Let's get more, get another person on this side.
You want a uniform or
Yeah,
regular?
Let Ms. Norris step forward. All right, everybody look over here. Right here, in 3, 2, 1, smile. Don't move, don't move, don't move. We'll do one more. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, okay. Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
Regular meeting agenda item number 4, Ms. Enriquez,
It's because
report from the,
they had an event right now, so she's probably running a little late, Mayor.
okay, we will call for regular meeting agenda item number 5, and we will come back to her as soon as we know, let me know that she's in the audience.
Okay.
In the house.
Departmental reports, any questions? This is the time to ask the departments directly from any of the council members.
I move to approve the reports as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the reports, the departmental reports as presented in writing. Is there any questions?
No questions.
No questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Departmental reports are approved. Regular meeting agenda item number 6, citizens' participation. Ms. Carrillo, do we have anybody to?
Yes, Mayor, we have Mr. Valentin Ortiz.
Mr. Valentin Ortiz, please come by and state your name and address and the item that you want to discuss. You have 3 minutes to discuss, as long as the item is not on the agenda.
Hello, my name is Valentine Ortiz. My address is 1507 Ridge Loop, Mission, Texas 78572, and I'm here to talk about trying to implement a tree ordinance. Okay, so good evening. My name is Valentine. I'm a resident of Mission and a student at UTRGV. My peers and I are here to urge you to consider implementing this tree ordinance we have constructed. We used other local ordinances as guidelines to hone in on the correct path to take this new idea to fruition. I'd like to introduce our research into urban heat islands and our research into positive effects both physically and financially they can create. So, in order to understand why we need to implement a tree ordinance, we need to understand the problems that happen if we don't. What is an urban heat island? An urban heat island is an urban area that is significantly warmer than its surroundings due to more buildings, cars, and roads. With Mission growing very fast, eventually we'll end up like McAllen or Brownsville, which are always more than a couple degrees hotter than Mission or any other small cities. If you walk outside the City Hall right now, and you will see that it's filled with amazing mature trees, not a palm in sight. This creates a cooler, immediate area. Imagine what it could do if the trees shaded the hot asphalt and the concrete sidewalks. It would be cooler and a lot shadier from that South Texas sun we all know and love. Now picture businesses with trees and parking lots. Bigger businesses like, let's say, Walmart or even that close Kmart on Bryan in 83 have a lot of parking space with no trees. Again, this creates an increase in city's heat because it's like having a giant frying pan in the middle of the city. Now, on a side note, we aren't talking about palm trees and mesquite trees. We're talking about full-blown trees like the ones outside City Hall and a variety like that. Palm trees and mesquite trees don't offer the protection from the sun like those other trees do. In a draft sample ordinance attached to the pamphlet we handed out to the Secretary, we specify that palm trees and mesquite trees are excluded because of their lack of protection. On a positive note, a side effect would also be improving air quality, and the increasing number of cars in our city due to expansion will at least be somewhat mitigated due to the proposed tree ordinance. These are the physical benefits of creating an ordinance that targets bigger businesses with massive empty heat-producing parking lots. Thank you, and yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else?
Yes, Mayor, we have Christian Briones.
Briones, 3 minutes limit, sir, and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Christian. My address is 7427 Durango Street. To add on to what my colleague said, now you know the physical benefits of a tree ordinance. Now I would like to expand on the financial benefits. It is known for a fact that when properties have mature trees, the values of properties go up. Aside from looking good, it is estimated that more than 10% value is added to business parking lots. Many studies have shown that when trees are close to small business, foot traffic increases. The valley is normally hot during the summer. Now if you can create a nice cool shade environment of people to walk on foot, small businesses would increase in traffic. A win for small businesses and a win for mission. As another example, to drive this home, think of Cameron Drive and Sherry Road. Most of it is not all those houses have mature trees. Everyone here also knows that home values are high in the area. If property value is rising on the home level, imagine what it could do to business properties. Another win for mission. With summer right around the corner, you know that La Canicula is also close. What is La Canicula? It is a heat wave that affects the northern hemisphere, the hottest part of summer or dog days. During this time is when everyone uses the AC the most and electricity bills skyrocket. If the tree ordinance would be implemented and trees are strategically placed, you can save on cooling costs of reported up to 56% during the hottest time of summer. With Canicula, light bills will not be so high, and we could win for businesses everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else, Mr. Carrillo?
Yes, Mayor, we have Andrea Esquivel.
Ms. Esquivel?
Hi, my name is Andrea Esquivel. I'm here for the street light that we have on Business 83 and Inspiration Road. We have a road that exits onto frontage out of Stripes, and that road is to make a right and go straight street, and that gets so clustered in the morning. I mean, with rush hour, if there's a car in front of you that's going to go straight, there's 3 behind you, they're going to make a right turn. So you find a lot of people having to go around through Stripes, which is illegal. But that's the only way that people can get to work, because I don't know if you can just make that a right turn and make the other street to go straight so that it can turn into 83, because it gets very packed in rush hour. The other thing is, if the same lighting, if you're coming, let's say from Peñitas, and you're getting off on that same street to cross into the railroad tracks, the lighting there, you can't see it, the one that tells you to go straight, because the light is facing up, it's not facing to the traffic. I had to cross it once, and it was red on my side and green on the one across. It's very dangerous. So I would like to know if if you can try to address that.
We will note that information, ma'am, and we'll forward it to our traffic committee coordinator, which is our police chief.
Thank you.
And he'll review it, and then he'll come up with recommendations, or if he has to go to the traffic committee, something will be done.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your...
Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, we've got Mr. Sean Downey.
County. Name and address for the record.
Sean Downey, 801 North Bryan Road, Suite 174. I'm one of the owners and the general manager of 5x5 Brewing Company. I just wanted to come forward today and thank the city for their assistance. This past weekend, we had the music festival that benefited Trooper Moises Sanchez. We had a great turnout from the city. We had great support from the city, both with logistics supports with tents and chairs and tables and that sort of thing, as well as the police support, security. It was a great day. We had great weather. We lucked out with a little bit of breeze there. I think everybody had a great time, and it was a very safe event, very good for the community. We had many compliments on how things came about, and it wouldn't have been without the city's support that we could have done that, so I really appreciate the support. I did brief Ida on the money raised. I'd like to tell you that, but the family actually asked that we not publicly divulge that. But we did raise a very good amount of money between what we did Saturday and the hosting the venue for the barbecue benefit the week before that. I will say it was in the triple digits, or the 6-digit figure, so I won't say how much it was, but it was really good between the two events for that family. I will say that I did get to speak with one of Trooper Sanchez's sons. He was there at the event Saturday night, and he says he's doing better when the family is in there with him in the room. Even though he's sedated, that when they speak to him, he's moving and he's reacting to them being in the room. So it's a positive. It's good to know that he recognizes their voice and that he's moving with that. So I just wanted to come before the city today and thank you all for the support you gave us. It was very quick. We put it together in about 4 days, really, we just kind of wrapped things up, over the week. After that, very minor details put in place, but the ability to come together so quickly for our community and for our law enforcement, I really appreciate the City of Mission for that.
Thank you. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I will call back regular meeting agenda item number 4, report from the Greater Chamber, since we have you in the audience.
Yes, hi. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. The Chamber was hosting a business networking event at the Bryan House, eco-friendly tourism. And of course, I wouldn't be a good host if I didn't bring you dessert, so I brought y'all dessert. It's a long day, right? Okay, great. So I'll start with the Chamber world. So on Thursday, we have a ribbon cutting for Benchmark Wellness Clinic, and it's going to be at 10:30 this Thursday. So if you're available, please join us. We'd love to have you there. Next Tuesday, McCoy's here in Mission is actually celebrating the 30th anniversary for them being in business. So that's really good news here in Mission, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. So if you can join us, that would be wonderful. Now let's move on to the Tourism Bureau. So we are officially under construction, so we're continuing to work with experts in the field to complement and craft a good strategic plan for the City of Mission. Most bureaus have what we called a Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is an arm of the bureau. It's one component. So it's really a great opportunity for us to align and complement the goals of our event center, so we can start creating enticing packages for meeting planners to start coming in for the City of Mission. So we're excited about this collaboration, so they'll be beginning soon. More so, research shows that blooming cities target a couple or a few target audiences. So the City of Mission has been doing a great job with the target audience for Winter Texans. So that's been an effort that's been going, and it's going great. So we're going to continue identifying those other two maybe target audiences that we can really draw visitors to the City of Mission. So we're continuing our findings there. And then lastly, our visitor's guide is almost ready for review, and we are working hard to ensure that any tourism collateral information is consistent to really make an impact for the City of Mission. So this way, when everybody knows of Mission, Texas, it's the place to be and people know. So it's a great road ahead, and that concludes my report for today.
Thank you.
Any questions by any of the council persons?
None.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Enriquez.
What is it?
It's supposed to start on this side.
Put over here.
Regular meeting agenda item 1.0, public hearing, 1.1, planning and zoning recommendations, 1.1A. Mr. Acevedo.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Item 1.1A is a public hearing for a rezoning of Lot 1, Banworth Business Center from C1 to C2. Currently, the property is zoned as C1 office building, and they're proposing to rezone it to a C2 neighborhood commercial. The applicant is Jose Angel Trevino, and if the council is inclined to approve this rezoning request, it would require the adoption of an ordinance. On April 10th, 2019, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider this rezoning request. The subject site is located along the west side of Sherry Road between Village Drive and Mulberry Street. Mayor and Council, this is directly in front of or west of the Banworth Park, kind of like in front of the lake area. And what the applicant is proposing is to demolish some old structures, some old residential structures, and build or construct a commercial plaza. It's going to consist of 3 suites. Each suite is going to have 2 or 3 buildings, and each suite is almost 5,000 square feet. Currently, like I said, the property is zoned C1, and their request is to open it up a little bit more with the C2 plaza. There is a drain ditch north of it, and to the west, you do have a residential community. However, the houses, the back of the houses are what faces the commercial plaza, not necessarily anything else, as you can see there on the aerial. The applicant also owns the property to the south, which is also zone C1. He has it for lease, and in talking to the applicant, he's likely going to come in for a rezoning on that item, but he's working with an architect to change the facade, because right now it looks like a house. So it's likely that we'll see that item in the near future. The future land use map does reflect that this is a low-density area. However, the future land use map is something that the city is working on. It hasn't been revised since 2008, but in the next couple of weeks, we'll wrap up the revision of the future land use map, and it is likely that this is in an area that's going to be seeing a change. There was no opposition at the P&Z meeting. The staff unanimously, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this rezoning request. Staff is recommending approval, as is our city manager. This is a public hearing. Item 1.1A is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this rezoning? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this rezoning? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this rezoning? I do not see anybody approaching the podium. Therefore, I'm going to close the public hearing and open it for the city council for any direct comments.
Mayor, I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 4783. Am I correct, Ms. Carrillo?
Yes, Mayor.
And this, open it for further discussion.
I have a comment, Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
A couple months back, we had a neighbor had come in that's just to the north of this that was arguing about some restaurant. What's been what's this neighborhood think about this? I know that no one's here, but.
Nobody showed up in opposition on this particular rezoning request. I do have an update on that subdivision that you're referring to. I met with the applicant, and he has made some progress. He's going to be coming back with another request, but this is for a sandwich shop. He said he's already spoken to
People
2 of the
in the
3
neighborhood?
key players there,
Okay.
and it looks promising. Those people, I guess, things changed on them, and it went from a residential to a commercial setting, and it does have an entrance, which makes it a little bit different, but there's nobody, I guess, other than the neighbors in the back. These people are going to buffer to the west and to the north, and
I know that we're working on the future use map, and we should have it done within the next 30 days.
Correct.
And there was some discussion about this thoroughfare of Sherry. I don't know if we should wait
Yes,
until
this
we
is
get that
a lot
map
of
done,
people
or we can just
along
move
Sherry
forward.
Road have their properties for sale.
Yeah.
This is in an area that we're seeing a transition to commercial. There's a lot of properties along Sherry between the railroad tracks and 495 that are currently for sale.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? I will call for a vote for ordinance 4783. All those in favor say aye.
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 Oh,
83, we're still the same number.
4783, am I correct?
Yes.
All those in favor again, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Ordinance 4783 is approved, and I call for 1.1B.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Item 1.1B is a public hearing for a conditional use permit for the sale of on-site consumption of alcohol at Villa del Mar Restaurant Number 1. This is at 207 East Expressway 83, being Lot 3 of Pueblo Phase 2 subdivision. The property is owned C3 General Commercial, and the applicant is Viga Restaurants, Inc. And if the council is inclined to approve this conditional use permit, it would require the adoption of an ordinance. On April 10th, 2019, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider this CUP request. The subject site is located within a plaza approximately 600 feet east of Conway Avenue along the north side of the frontage road of Expressway 83. The CUP was last approved on March 9th of 2016 for a period of 3 years. Villa del Mar has been in operation at this location for over 12 years and has been serving alcohol at this location since October of 2010. There is a bar component, but this is a family restaurant. Section 1.56-3 of the zoning code does cite that bars must be 300 feet from the nearest residence. There is some residence behind this commercial shopping center. And in the past, the Planning and Zoning and the City Council have waived the separation requirement in the CUP's previous approvals. The hours of operation are Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and parking is held in common. There was no public opposition during the P&Z meeting. The board unanimously recommended approval. Staff and our city manager are recommending approval subject to waiver of the 300-foot separation requirement from residential neighborhoods and that the CUP be valid until October 5th of 2019, at which time their TABC license will need to be renewed. This is a public hearing. Item 1.1B is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit renewal? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit renewal? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit renewal? I do not see anybody approaching the podium, so I'm going to close this public hearing and open it for any of the council individuals.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and second ordinance 4784. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. A motion carried, and I open 1.5C.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Item 1.1C is a public hearing for a conditional use permit renewal for a restaurant on property zone C2. This is at 1233 East Griffin Parkway, being Lot 1 and the south 25 feet of Lot 2, Block 1, Bel Air Heights subdivision. The property zone C2 neighborhood commercial, and the applicant is the Loreto at Mission in care of Lupe Gonzalez. And if the council is inclined to approve this conditional use permit, it would require the adoption of an ordinance. On April 10th, 2019, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider this conditional use permit request. The subject site is located at the northwest corner of Orange Drive and Griffin Parkway. The establishment has been in operation at this location since 2015, with the most recent CUP approval being in February of 2016. Since the owner has been in operation for over 4 years now, based on section 1.423E of the zoning code, restaurants that are zoned in a C2 zoning require a conditional use permit. We've seen this in the past, and at this previous planning and zoning meeting that we had, there was a little bit of opposition from one of the neighbors. Some of the concerns that were voiced were parking issues. This establishment does have 30 parking spaces. However, for an establishment of this size, it is required that they have 37 parking spaces. The owner of the establishment has made a lease agreement with the law firm that's across the street on the east side of Orange, and they also have additional parking that they've secured with a new business. There's a daycare just east of the law firm that provides additional parking spaces. The hours of operation are Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. They are closed on Mondays. A total of 20 employees man the operation, and the board did unanimously approve the conditional use permit. Staff and our city manager are recommending approval of this conditional use permit for life of use. We'll still see the alcohol permit come before the board and the council, but as far as the C2 restaurant use, we're recommending approval for life of use. This is a public hearing. Item 1.1C is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal? You want to come?
Good evening, Council. My name is Gerardo Ramon Cavazos. I don't have anything written. I was just last minute that I was made aware of the meeting this evening. I'm all for the business. I reside currently at 2325 Orange Avenue, which is at the end of the neighborhood to the left. The only concern that I have regarding the business, I'm all for small business, the concern that I had, the traffic way through through the alley. It seems to staff or customers are making that U-turn and coming around through the backside of our property. It's getting busy. I do have little ones. I have my property line, I have a fence line. Numerous occasions I've come out. I've even put reflectors that they've been ran over. The traffic is getting heavier as this business is growing and so forth. Biggest concern is safety, making sure my little ones are safe while outside, and we have seen the traffic increase drastically. That's my only concern with the bistro, and it's ongoing. And I have met with staff, managers, owners, and it still continues. I do know that some of my neighbors, they couldn't be here this evening, but they're having the same complaints regarding the bistro.
Do you have thoughts as to how to remedy that?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Do you have thoughts as to how to remedy that?
I'm sorry,
Do you have any thoughts as to how to remedy that?
I do, Councilman. I did speak to the Water District this afternoon. My property sits on Orange and St. Rosemary Avenue. At that, I've asked to put a chain link, not a chain link, but a barrier, a post, a chain, something to slow the traffic, and they mentioned to come here and speak to the city. So by all means, respectfully requesting to have someone go out there and see, you could see the traffic where it runs through the property, to add some type of barrier, something that we could add to prevent further traffic from going through there. That would be my remedy as far as having the traffic divert or having them seeing that barrier and turn back around. That would be my remedy.
I think that our city manager and our chief of police can get with that. That's something we can work on.
That doesn't seem too difficult.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry that you have been going through that, but yeah, you could have, the neighbors everybody is more than welcome to come by and speak to our city manager and our staff, and we could have
This is getting really heavy traffic here recently, and I felt that I needed to come in and discuss that with the board this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Thank you, board.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal? Mr. Gonzalez, you want to come up and state your name and address for the record, please?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. I am the owner. My name is Lupe Gonzalez. I am the owner, along with my wife, Alva Loreto. I have spoken with the gentleman, and I understand his concerns, but we try to tell everyone not to use the alley, and it is not, I can understand if he's got children. I can understand his concerns. We've addressed this with him and also with the police department. He tried to get me not to go. There was a time when one of the food delivery trucks, an 18-wheeler, came in and I couldn't get out. So I went out north on the alley and turned, and he told me I couldn't use that alley. And I said, sir, this is a dedicated alley, and I have every right, and this is the only time that I've ever used it. I understand his concerns, and we do everything we can to keep all of our customers from going there. And the only time that anybody goes is if an 18-wheeler comes once a week and makes a delivery. So I can understand, and we're waiting to work with him and with the Mission PD as well. So I ask for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal?
I'd like to speak. Good evening, Council. Maria Esther Peña Salinas, Miller and Oblate. It is very disturbing to be in a neighborhood to have an 18-wheeler truck in your alley. That's not right. So you all need to come to terms with what's going to happen. When you're talking about children and babies, a lot of times they run out and play, and you do want to prevent accidents. The restaurant is very nice, but again, these businesses, forget that there are citizens who need to sleep, and our lives a lot of times are disrupted because of unnecessary noises. And you really should come to a decision about big trucks like that, or pickup trucks, or BFI trucks before you need to table it until further discussion, is my opinion.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and City Council. My name is Robert Gonzalez. I'm the General Manager of the Laredo Bistro and son of Lupe Gonzalez. I run all the, when orders are placed, when delivery trucks are coming, entering, and exiting the building. There's only one way for them to enter our building, and the city has already repaved that street so they could enter one way. They enter east off of Griffin Parkway, and they reverse their trucks back into our parking lot in the backside of our building. That's why the alleyway is blocked off for a good 15 minutes. The trucks never pass our property into the dirt part of the alley because our kitchen is right next to the loading dock from 495. And I just wanted to make that very clear, that the only way that the trucks do enter, if it has to do with like beverages, food, supplies, they only back in, they stop right there, and they leave. No trucks circle around the alleyway. And I just wanted to make that clear before any decisions were made. Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez, I have
Thank
a
you.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
And how often does that happen, the deliveries?
Once a week. We order once a week from a food provider. We place our orders on Mondays for Tuesdays, and the delivery truck is always there by 9 o'clock in the morning. Tuesday, 9 o'clock, almost everyone in the neighborhood has left to work or school. It's a very slow time. It's the slowest time of the day. There's no traffic there, and that's the reason we order that time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal? I don't see anybody coming to the podium, so I'm going to close this public hearing and open it for the city council to make any comments or any questions, ask any questions.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The restaurant is closed on Mondays, is that correct?
Yes.
Would it be possible for deliveries to be made on Mondays so the trucks could actually use their parking lot?
So that they can back up into their main parking lot rather than the alley? That's what I was thinking, and also, or maybe they can use smaller box trucks. I mean, if it's the same company making the deliveries, maybe they don't need to bring an 18-wheeler, they can bring a smaller box truck and utilize the parking lot that they have without having to block the alley. Those are options. We can get with the owner of the business and explore some
Well, I think the
alternatives.
easy fix would be to just deliver on Monday, probably.
Any other questions?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion with the recommendation from Mayor Pro Tem Nori Garza to maybe have the deliveries done on Monday.
And your motion is to approve?
To approve.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Do I hear a second? Yeah, I heard a second. So we have a motion and a second for ordinance 4785 to be approved with the recommendations from Mayor Pro Tem Garza. This I open it for final discussion from any other city council person in case you have any questions.
I think it's important to state that this is a life of use, correct?
This is a life of use. Like I stated earlier, we're still going to see the conditional use permit for the sale of alcohol. So if there's ever any traffic issues or other concerns from the neighbors, we'll take a look at them at that time.
Again.
Any final questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Ordinance 4785 is approved.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Moving right along to agenda item 2.0, consent agenda item. Council, I do want to remind you that we are jointly passing under one motion, item 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5, agenda items. If you have any of those agenda items you want to pull before we do the motion, I would like to entertain your statement.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion to approve consent agenda items as presented,
As presented, sir.
and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And want to move to section 3.0, approval and authorizations of individual agenda item, and I'm going to call for 3.1, Ms. Carrillo.
Yes, Mayor, Council, these are board appointments, and we do have a few of the appointees here with us today, so as I call their names, if they'd like to come forward. These are board appointments for Citizens Advisory Committee. Appoint Francisco J. Cadena to the vacant Southeast position. Downtown Revitalization Committee, appoint Victoria Lopez. Millennium Committee, appoint Michael Garcia, Andy Garcia, and Matthew James Ocaña. Planning and Zoning Commission, appoint Jason Hardison to replace Mr. Joe Luis Morin, who resigned. And these are Mayor's recommendations for these appointments.
Any of the members in the audience, please step forward and come forward to be recognized, as well as to take a picture with the mayor and the council.
For approval?
We have a motion to approve.
Second?
In a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and all the persons that were named are appointed to their respective
Thank you.
committees. You want to step up front, over here, around this way?
Yes, yes.
So Ms. Lopez is out.
Welcome aboard, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Right here,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That has.
Everybody look over here. All right, ready in 3, 2, 1, smile. Let me see, one more. 3, 2, 1, smile. All right, perfect.
Thank you, Chair.
Congratulations. Good luck.
When we go to executive session,
You're the best. Agenda item 3.2, Mr. Flores.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Item 3.2 is the approval of an agreement between the Benchcraft Company and Sherry Municipal Golf Course for benches, tee signs, ball washers, and a display board. The Benchcraft Company will provide these benches and tee signs at no cost to the golf course, but they add the advertising board on the bottom, so that's how they cover the cost of the things they provide for us. City and manager and staff recommend approval.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
there's some, I'd like for the contract, if it's to be approved subject to attorney approval, because there's a couple of things in there I would like to change. One is, for example, it says if we get sued on this contract, it's going to be in Oregon. And I don't think we want to go to Oregon.
Yes. Yes, or
Thank you for
or
catching
or
that.
add a whole harmless section also, you know.
I'll make a motion to approve, subject to the contract being approved by our
We have a
council.
motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
No, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, your agreement is approved, subject to the approval of the city attorney. 3.3, Mr. Benson.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I have agenda item 3.3 is the authorization to purchase and install six shade structures from Tinzo McAllen LLC via state-approved buy board contract number 512-16 for the Mission Tennis Center at Birdville Park. The project consists of two 17 by 52-foot shade structures at a cost of $12,777 at a combined price of $25,554, and also four shade structures at a 14-foot by 32-foot at a individual price of $6,777, totaling $27,108. These two different sizes at a total cost of $52,662. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
Do I hear a motion for approval?
I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Do I have a second? I'll open it for discussion. Anybody wants to, any discussion?
Are these all you need, or do you think you might need some more?
Pardon me?
Are these all you need, or do you think you
It's
might need?
going to cover all the concrete areas between the tennis courts.
My, the fabric color is to be determined, so just to,
We're looking at blue.
okay, well, as long as it's not a color that fades, because you know
Okay.
how our sun is,
Blue seems to be a pretty good color that won't fade.
let's
It's
look at the
mission color.
ones at the baseball park on Inspiration.
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of look at those and see which colors held up the best.
Magenta?
Magenta, that's a good one.
Okay, it's the same, we're looking at the same color blue that was installed at Mayberry Pool.
Okay.
Any other question? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You're authorized to the purchase and install. 3.4, Mr. Salinas.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. I come before you seeking approval of sanitary sewer service agreement between the City of Mission and Lone Star Citrus Growers. Agreement entails the permitting of Lone Star Citrus Growers to dispose of industrial wastewater at the City of Mission Industrial Pretreatment Plant. Fees associated with disposal are based on meter readings in gallons, industrial waste, biochemical oxygen demand, and suspended solids surcharge as described on the attached agreement. Staff and city manager recommend approval of agreement.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So
Move to
moved.
approve.
We have a second.
Second.
I do have a question myself. I just want to make sure that the motion, that it's in the minutes that it gets pre-approved by the Texas Environmental Quality Agency, the TECQ, that it's okay to be able to do this, and it won't hurt our rating by TECQ.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and you're approved pending the TECQ letter.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
3.5, Mr. Salinas.
Yes, sir. Mayor, City Council members, item 3.5 is the authorization to execute payment to Realvalue Switching Company to replace two 45-foot railroad crossings at Perkins Streets. Realvalue Switching Company will do the construction for this project to include labor and materials. The first crossing on Perkins will be at a cost of $38,250, and the second crossing in the same place at Perkins Street will be of $39,475. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
Do I hear a motion?
I move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and this I open it for further discussion. Any other council persons that want to say anything on this? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and you're authorized to execute.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
3.6, Ms. Longoria.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Item 3.6 is award bids for Housing Assistance Program, HAPS Phase 18-2. We received 4 bid responses. We're recommending to award bids to multiple vendors. A1 Insulation for a total of $141,500 for 2 projects. 117 is Victory Street and 824 Hidalgo Street. And G&G Contractors for a total of $69,350 for 1 project at 810 West 2nd Street. Both bidders are lowest responsible, meeting all specifications. Citizens Advisory Committee recommended approval on April the 9th, 2019. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I'll move to approve, Mayor.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Its motion passes and it's approved. Award the bids. 3.7, Ms. Longoria.
Yes, 3.7 is reject and resolicit bids for Housing Assistance Program HAP Phase 18-2A. We received 4 bid responses, as previously mentioned. The lowest bid amounts exceeded staff's internal cost estimate and construction funds available. Staff is seeking to reject and resolicit bids for 4 projects. Reconstruction, 319 Irma Avenue, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 970 square feet. 205 East Victory Street, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 970 square feet. 800 Cheryl Street, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 970 square feet. And a rehabilitation project at 4102 Rene Avenue. CEC recommend approval on April 9th, 2019. Staff and city manager recommend approval as well.
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have actually 2 questions. Ms. Longoria, how often does this take place where you are saying, that
rejecting
they
every
go
bid?
over?
Well, it happened sometime before, but according to our guidelines, we allow a 15% cushion. However, we did a cost comparison, and in this particular bid, we saw that the bid amounts were over, and it wasn't a reasonable amount. So that's why we feel that the contractors inflated their bids, and we would like to reject and rebid. Also, the budget is not there. If you see on this item, the budget amount available for this project is $157,470, and that's for reconstruction, and $60,234. So we award these bids, the budget's not there to award. So we're trying to seek a fair bid amount for these projects.
And so do you offer a training to these construction companies that are going to come in to try to solicit bids for this so that they can understand like how it happens? Because I'm not really familiar with how many times we've done this. This caught my eye right now.
Yes, we do have pre-bid construction meetings where we express how the guidelines work and how much is allowed for bidding, especially on rehabs where we have a max of $25,000. Under the reconstruction, it is up to 15% staff's cost estimate. However, these, like I said, we feel that they're just unreasonable for this.
Thank you.
Were these new companies that?
No, these are the current,
current
bidders.
They've been bidding
the contractors.
Receiving awards from,
Yes.
contracts.
We have been awarding these projects to these contractors.
So they're
yes.
well aware of how
Yes.
things run.
That makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Do I have a motion and a second? I do want a point of order and clarification, please, for my sake. The CAC recommended approval on April 9, 2019. Was that approval to reject?
Approval to reject and rebid, yes.
Reject and rebid, and the city manager and staff, the same thing. Am I correct? Yes, sir. Just wanted for clarification. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and you're authorized to reject and rebid.
Thank you.
3.9, approval of the resolution 1596.
Yes, if I may, Mayor, approval of Resolution 1596 is support of the redesignation agreement and bylaws for the proposed Rio Grande Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization. The redesignation agreement is required by federal law for the consolidation of the MPOs. The composition of the board will be 31-member policy board. The City of Mission will have 2 board members. The board members must be elected members of the governing body, an example, the mayor, a member of the city council. Cities or with more than 1 member, additional elected officials shall be designated by the governing body of the city. The Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council will be designated to serve as a fiscal agent for the Valley MPO. Staff recommendation is approval of this resolution.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 1596 is approved. 3.9, Chief Dominguez. Bless you.
Mayor, City Council, item 3.9 is the approval for the implementation of a speed hump on Gastel Drive between Iowa Street and East Gastel Circle in accordance with the City of Mission Code of Ordinances, Division 5, Speed Humps, Section 110.351 to 110.354. The Mission Police Department has received several concerns of vehicles traveling at a high rate of speed, making it unsafe for residents. A petition was signed by the residents of the neighborhood requesting a speed hump. The Homeowners Association met and other criteria by fulfilling the requirements of our city ordinance. On April 16, 2019, the Traffic Safety Committee met and recommended the installation of the speed hump. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I'll move for approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve 3.9. Open it for further discussion by any of the council persons. No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.9 is approved for implementation of a speed. 3.10, Chief, Ordinance 4786.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, item 3.10 is the approval of an ordinance providing for a four-way stop intersection at Gable Avenue and 27th Street. The request is due to vehicular traveling at a high rate of speed on 27th Street and making it unsafe for residents of the neighborhood. On April 16, the Traffic Safety Committee reviewed the concerns and recommended the placing of the four-way stop intersection. Staff and city manager recommend approval. Just for your information, this roadway is the only roadway that connects Inspiration and Los Evanos Road between FM 495 Griffin Parkway and 2 Mile Line.
Wow.
I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve. And Chief, I would like to see that the four-way stop, if it's approved after I call for a vote, that it has those solar lights.
Yes.
The way we have in Holland, on
Okay.
Holland Street.
Yes,
That we
sir.
can use, and we can do that as a standard anytime that we have four-way stop signs.
Stop intersections?
Yes, because
Okay.
and the one like in Los Evanos also, on Los Evanos Road.
Yes, sir.
They're very, very useful in the evenings and so forth.
Right.
As far as, and of course, solar is making Mission green, so.
Yes, sir. Take care of that.
No questions? All those in favor of ordinance 4786, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
3.11, authorization to solicit bids. Ms. Munguia.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Item 3.11 is the authorization to solicit bids for basic and voluntary life, AD&D, and long-term disability. Our one-year contract with 2 renewal options has been exhausted. We are seeking authorization to solicit RFBs, and staff and city manager recommend approval.
Mayor, I move to approve.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
I want to mention to the city manager and to staff that we do like a pre-bid, once you pre-bid workshop, so the council can review the RFPs and do that aligned with the workshop that we're talking about on the insurances and so forth. We'll put it together and hopefully in the same date and time, if we could do that if it's possible,
Okay.
so. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Munguia.
Thank you.
3.12, Ms. Vela.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Item 3.12 is the tax collection report for the month of March 2019. The total tax levy was $20,404,933.59, and the amount of collections as of March 31st, 2019 was $18,886,400.23, which is 92.56% of the tax levy. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the collection report. Is that open up for the discussion? Anybody, any questions on? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.13, Ms. Vela.
Item 3.13 is the approval of the February 2019 financial statements. Unadjusted beginning fund balance was $30,838,372. Total revenues for the month were $9,703,239, and total expenditures were $13,355,001, leaving an unadjusted fund balance of $27,186,610. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financial statement for February. This I open it for any questions or discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.14.
Item 3.14 was the acceptance of the comprehensive annual financial report. At this moment, I'm asking that this item be tabled. We had an exit interview last week, and there was a couple adjustments that needed to be made, so we're...
Do you want it tabled or you want no action?
No action?
No
Would be
action?
fine, yes.
Okay.
Mayor, I just want to make a comment. I'm very disappointed that it's not ready today.
Sorry about that.
And we have people in the audience that came to us for those results.
No action? Can I have an acknowledgement at least from the council?
Special meeting, do you know when that's going to take place or what's going to happen?
I'm sorry.
Can I have acknowledgement just by nodding, no action?
No action.
No action?
No.
No action? No action. Okay, we're taking no action on this item.
Okay.
And Mrs. Ochoa, you had something, and you said something, I'm sorry.
I would just like to know
recognize you.
when it's going to be rescheduled.
We can reschedule based on availability on May the 1st would be at 5:30. Special meeting for that, the presentation of the annual report.
Are we all okay on May the 1st?
Thank you.
Is that?
What day of the week is that? Monday?
Wednesday?
Wednesday?
I'd like to make sure that I stress the point that we don't get penalized for not having it today.
Yes.
And any of the state fundings are,
Yeah, we've reached out to everybody that we need to.
I just want to make sure. Okay, we'll call for 3.15, ma'am, budget amendment.
Item 3.15 is the approval of the attached budget amendments. There are four. The first is in the general fund. It's expenditures of $21,220 for the city's share of the TxDOT project approved by council on April 8th for the traffic signal hardware improvements. The next is in the capital projects fund. We have revenues and expenditures of $956,300, which is to allocate the funds for the traffic signal hardware improvement projects through the AFA agreement with TxDOT and in conjunction with the City of McAllen, City of Annenberg, and City of FAR. And we have a reclassification in the golf course fund of $3,400 to purchase a replacement ice machine for operations. And finally, we have in the Boys and Girls Club revenues and expenditures of $2,000 to allocate funds for summer league play. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move to approve.
We have a motion. Second. Do we have a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
We have a second. I have a question. Just on the first bullet, is the AFA included on the second bullet? Is the AFA is the same one for the first bullet?
Yes, for the first one,
second
yes.
bullet, because, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Just wanted to clarify. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and your budget amendment is approved, ma'am. 3.16.
Item 3.16 is approval of resolution number 1597, adopting and implementing a partial amnesty program to waive interest, penalty fees, and administrative costs due to outstanding mowing liens. The City of Mission administers a mowing program where property owners are assessed a fee and are subject to penalties, interest, and administrative costs. Staff is recommending approval of partial amnesty program to waive interest, penalty fees, and administrative costs on mowing liens filed before April 24th, 2019. The program will commence on April 24th and end on September 30th of 2019. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I'll move for approval, Mayor.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. I'll open it for discussion.
I have a
Ms.
question.
Garza?
Are you reaching out to these people that have the liens?
Well, actually, we'll put stuff on social media, and we do have a system that has everybody's address and property names, but we can work with code enforcement to maybe send out notifications on some of the ones that have more than, just a few.
Okay.
Several violations.
On the Parks and Rec marquee, just say
Yes, we can.
mowing liens amnesty.
Do you have a dollar amount of how much is it on fees that we will be waiving?
Normally, the administrative fee is $100, and that's what we'll waive, as well as the lien fee, which is now $36, but I know there's some old fees where they were $8, because the county used to charge at 1.8, and then it went up to 16, and now it's 36, so it would vary based upon when the lien was actually filed. And then interest, which is, we charge it at 10% per year. So it could vary, but...
But we don't have an idea how many liens are up there, for properties and...
We have quite a bit of liens. I want to say we have maybe, more than 1,000 liens out there. Because each property could have several liens. One property could have, 10 liens on it, so... But we have about, I would say maybe like 3,000 accounts that have balances.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and approval of Resolution 1597 is approved.
Thank you.
4.0, unfinished business. I have on the agenda, we have no unfinished business, so I'll move with 5.0, routine matters. 5.1, the city manager, comments?
Yes, Mayor, I would like to take this opportunity to invite everyone to the Mission Roundup. Is happening this weekend on Saturday. We are having activities here with several different functions to include a car show and activities for the kids and family. It's free for the public, free for everyone. And also, we're partnering up with the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council on a tire cleanup pickup, as well as a trash bash that we're working throughout volunteers. We have several hundred volunteers that are already registered for this weekend that will be participating in the trash bash as well. So I wanted to share that.
And I want to call for 5.2, the mayor's going to add to I think we have an art festival also this weekend, also, in the city of Mission, and I want to echo the tire. This is the time to bring in your tires, 4 tires per family. All you need to do is show proof of residency in the city, and we'll have a site here. But it's my understanding there should be about 49 more sites
throughout the county.
So it's time to begin to clean up those tires that are hanging in the alleys and so forth, and we want to beautify Mission as much as we can, and thanks to the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council in taking this project on for us also universally for the county, because I think that we have a major problem in tires being sometimes dropped in our drainage system, or some dropped in our canals, dropped in on the side of the roads, as far as that is concerned. So I encourage the public to take advantage of this weekend, this Saturday. We're opening from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., am I correct?
It's going to be here at City Hall in this area, and then as well as the Seed Building as well.
So, and without further ado, I'll call for 5.3 City Council comments, and I'll start with Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick announcement that later this week, we're going to Temple for the TML appeal on firefighter Salinas, so we'll keep you posted how that goes.
We're going to Tyler.
Tyler. Okay. We're going to Tyler.
Tyler, Texas.
Starts with a T.
Yes.
Close enough, Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
I have no comments, Mayor.
No comments?
No comments, Mayor.
No comments, Mr. Ochoa?
Yes, my little niece turned 5 this weekend, and she had a birthday party at a neighboring city. And when I was getting to the house where we had the tea, I noticed that in this particular neighborhood, there was all these tree limbs and everything all around in front of the houses and all that stuff. And I'm very excited and proud to say that here in our city of Mission, we have a fabulous department when it comes to that. That if you now drive around our city, you see very limited, our agency for the trash pickup and the limbs, they're very accessible to anything that our residents want and need when they call. And thank you for keeping our city beautiful, Cesar. Your department's hard work goes, I notice it all the time. And so
And also the other departments, like Parks and Recreation that also does some cleaning, and, hopefully we can do the one on 10th and Conway there on the west corner of 10th and Conway, to keep that clean also, as far as that, good goal to have. Anybody else? I will entertain a motion to go into executive session pursuant to VTCA Government Code Section 551.001. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are going to executive session, and we'll be back after we conduct our business. I will entertain a motion under the executive session pursuant to VTCA Government Code Section 551.001 to reconvene. Do I hear a motion? We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 6.1 Personnel Matters, item number A. Mr. Attorney.
Okay, a motion to request the city attorney to respond to the request made by Judge Pena.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion second to allow our city attorney to respond to as discussed in the executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 6.1B, we have no action. 6.2, consultation with on 6.2A, we have no action. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. 7.0, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Do a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.